Hello everyone, my name is Penny Lee. I'm here at Marble United Methodist Church, and I want to welcome you to our virtual Vacation Bible School program, Walking by Faith. Our memory verse for today is, "You shall have no other gods before me." Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. This is Mount Sinai, and I'm going to tell you the story of Moses. I know you probably heard a lot about Moses, but we're going to talk about him today because he had extraordinary faith. When Moses was a baby, the Pharaoh in Egypt decided that there were too many Hebrew people, and so he wanted to kill all of the baby boys who were under the age of 2. Now Moses' mother and sister Miriam knew that there was something special about Moses, and they had to do something to save him. So they put him in a basket and floated him down the river, hoping that someone would save him. Somebody did. It was the Pharaoh's sister. So he was raised as an Egyptian, but as he grew older, he realized that he was Hebrew. And one day, he saw an Egyptian soldier being mean to a Hebrew person. And he got into a fight with them, and it ended up the Egyptian soldier died. So Moses had to run away to save his own life. While he was gone, he got married and had a family. His wife taught him about God. And one day when he was out in the fields with the sheep, he saw this strange burning light on top of this mountain. And so he decided he needed to go and find out what that was. So he climbed up the mountain, and it was a burning bush. And God spoke to Moses through the burning bush. God needed Moses to go back to Egypt to free the people who had been enslaved there, his family. Now Moses, he was afraid. He knew what was going to happen if he went back, that he would probably be arrested or killed. And so he really didn't want to do it. And he kept coming up with all these excuses. He even told God, but I stutter. I don't talk well in front of people. And God kept on. I need you. You are the one I've chosen. So Moses finally said yes. And he came back to Egypt. And after many plagues that God put down on the Egyptian people, the Pharaoh finally said, that's it, I'm done, get out of here. So Moses led the Egyptian people out into the desert. Now when they got to the Red Sea, the Egyptian army was behind them. They were chasing them. And God told him, stretch out your arm and I will open the sea. So Moses did what God said, and the sea parted, and we got through. And then Moses put his arms down, and the Egyptian army was trapped. As the people wandered in the desert, they became hungry and thirsty and grumbly. So God told Moses what to do. And every time Moses did what God said, water would come from the rocks, and manna, which is food, came from heaven. Now, at one point, when they were camped here at the bottom of Mount Sinai, people were so grumbly that God called Moses back up into the mountain. While he was up on the mountain, God used his finger, and he wrote tablets, and he wrote the 10 Commandments. Now, those are rules that we can live by that help us to get along with each other and make our lives better. Now, while Moses was up in the mountain, the people down in camp were getting grumblier and grumblier. And so they decided that they were going to make idols and they were going to worship these idols. And when Moses came down, he saw them worshiping, and he got so angry because, you see, Moses was like us. He still had emotions and feelings, that he threw the 10 Commandments down at the people, breaking them. So, of course, Moses had to go back up into the mountain, and God wrote the 10 Commandments again, but he told Moses, since you were so angry at my people, you're not going to be able to go into the promised land. You will see it, but you can't go into it. So you see, sometimes we have feelings that we're not good enough, that we can't do it. We can't do it well, and God has chosen the wrong person. But you know what? God knows what he needs from us. And all we have to do is say yes. And God will help us do whatever it is that he's asking. So this verse is the one that we're going to say each day for the rest of the week. For we walk by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. Today I want to end our time with a prayer. Can you say this with me, guys? God, my creator and leader, guide me along the path. I read the Bible, but don't always know the path you're guiding me down. I pray that you give me the faith to trust you. May I walk by faith and not be tempted to take the path that looks the easiest. Be with me and guide me. Amen. I'll see you guys tomorrow.